startups, and the author of the national best-selling novels Catering, Your Way to Financial Independence.
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Check.
Live started.
Life is what happens to you while you're busy planning other things. Hi, I'm Manvir Singh Anand, and I'll be walking you through the rise of the cloud kitchens, what's really moved the entire country by storm. So guys, what I'll be sharing with you is something very specific. 21st of March 2020, our lives changed, industries changed, the pandemic got us out of what we never expected. In the 29 years of my existence, I've never heard of this term called a national lockdown. Now, what do I say by a lockdown? I mean, how many of you guys have actually heard about that? Industries have changed. The overall way of how we used to work, how we used to talk, has completely changed for the worse to the better. Today's session is purely focused around one aspect, which is the positives of the pandemic, how it's changed us for the better. Now, here is where I'll be sharing with you how the overall landscape of the food economy has changed. I'm going to share with you the new generation of food economy comprises of three specific stakeholders. Key amongst them is the first one, which is the enthusiasts, people like you and I, who became connoisseurs of food during this lockdown. And what happened was that a lot of people were talking about Peruvian cuisine, about authentic sushis and so on and so forth, and that was influenced by the second stakeholder, which is the influencers. People who curate content for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and make us aware about what is there to actually explore with the world of cuisine. Now, the third one is the most important. People who are raking the moolah at this particular point in time. The home chefs and the home bakers. They are the people who are giving you excellent cuisine at the comfort of your homes. And that's the beauty of it. And we'll be focusing specifically on them because that is one of the best micro-entrepreneurship, I would say, avenue which was generated during the pandemic. While people were going through rampant unemployment, that is where the opportunity was created. Now, I call this typically to be a home chef revolution of sorts. Now, why do I call it a home chef revolution? Home chef revolution because organizations like NDTV, HT, Times of India, all of them say that this has been an unprecedented rise in the number of home chefs which have come up and the overall preference of people towards the overall home chef culture. Now, this is attributed to typically 4 subheads. The first one being the change in preference of people trying to prefer home chefs to your commercial kitchens typically. Second one being the overall perception. Now when I say perception, I specifically mean to say that the perception of safety, which a lot of people think with respect to home chefs, is much more as compared to a commercial kitchen. And then the third aspect, which is the rising, all thanks to the influencers by the way, the global cuisine awareness amongst people. I mean, who really thought about we serving sushi in almost every part of this country? I mean, it's a premium product, right? And that's the beauty of it, right? And fourth, and the most important, the social media influence, which is actually captivating a lot of thoughts, a lot of perceptions, how people look at food. Food is not just a staple now, right now, it is more about their experience. So, like I said, this was further augmented by something which I call as the cloud kitchen revolution. Now guys, before I walk you through what a cloud kitchen revolution is, I'll tell you what a cloud kitchen is. You would have heard of terms like ghost kitchens, dark kitchens, internet first restaurants. Guys, don't think too much, these are all the same, they're basically synonyms. And the concept is very simple, that if you're running a restaurant with a kitchen with no dining facility, with no takeaway facility, and it's only basically you're getting orders online and you're delivering them to the comfort of the customer. That is what a cloud kitchen is basically. Now, talking specifically about this, why do I call it a revolution? Why do I say that the most interesting observation of this century would be a cloud kitchen business model? That is because of the fact that it's not me who's saying that, but HT Mint says that the cloud kitchen industry is expected to grow 5 times in the next 5 years. And let me tell you, no other industry, leaving of course a pharmaceutical and a PPE, which is personal protective equipment industry, this is the only industry expected to grow at that particular pace. Your story says that the cloud kitchen business is actually eating away the business of the restaurants in this country. Most importantly, F&B News, which is again an important portal specifically focused around food news, mentions that it's supposed to be a $1 billion market by the end of 2023. Now, when I say $1 billion, that's 7,500 crores. Imagine the kind of opportunity we are sitting on. So guys, if you understand these fundamentals, I'll share this very interesting observation which I was just walking through. This is probably one of the best things which has happened, and this is what I call being at the right time at the right place. Now imagine if I merge the home chef and the cloud kitchen revolution together. How does that really work? And what is that what I'm talking about? Come to think of it, guys, the result of this merger has led to an interesting observation which says, अब हर घर की kitchen बन सकती है cloud kitchen. Every home kitchen can become a cloud kitchen, and that's the beauty of it. And women like Karabi Mishra, women like Sonia Seth, Charu Jain, all of them have an opportunity to actually become micro entrepreneurs, tend to be larger cloud kitchens in time to come. Now, here is where I would be talking to you about the 4 quintessential aspects why I say cloud kitchen is a revolutionary opportunity, which is what has happened in this country. Now, the first, like I told you, the growth, which is expected to be around 5 times, is 500x, 500%. That in itself is a great opportunity. You know, it means that there's a scope for a lot of new players to come in. Second, which other business do you get the possibility of building 5 different or 10 different brands out of a single facility? Come to think of it, how capital efficient this business model can be. 5 brands. Think about a Rebel Foods, you know, which has around 10 to 14 brands under an umbrella of one kitchen facility. Then lower rentals, lower staffing costs, because you don't have to really get into the dine-in aspect, takeaway aspect, and so on and so forth. And the most important aspect will be minimal startup capital investment to start this business. You can start this at as least as 50,000 rupees, going up to, you know, whatever X amount, but it will always be much more capital light as compared to starting a restaurant, which will be 3 to 4 times expensive. Now, these are the 4 parameters why I think cloud kitchen business is here to grow and it's going to be big. Now, I'll be sharing this with a story of one of the students I have as part of my community. Now, it's the story of a lady called Amruta, who's based out of Mumbai, who's a corporate executive turned into a home chef before the pandemic. You know, she had the passion of really understanding the food business, and she was really good at what she used to do. A lot of you, who probably cook for themselves, know what passion really means. So in that process, she was supplying to her friends, family, and neighbors. And in that process of doing that for a few days, she eventually lost steam. The pandemic came in, and this was a great opportunity for her to actually leverage that, but with a set framework, which I'll be sharing with you. But this was a great opportunity for her to actually think about and learn this business in detail. Now, comes in post-pandemic. After 6 months of contemplating, in the first 1 month, she established a home kitchen, a home chef enterprise. She was able to reach from 0 to 30 orders in less than a month. That is 900 orders a month. And let me tell you guys, the best of the cloud kitchens take some time to reach that kind of volume. Now, fast forward 90 days, she's looking at shifting over to a commercial cloud kitchen business and shifting over to a commercial facility altogether. Now that is possible for each and every one of you who thinks about this being a great opportunity. I always follow the words of this great superstar who says that very few people get a chance of converting their passion into profession. And I want that for each one of you who's actually thinking about getting into a business where they can not only monetize their passion but can be a great source of a larger business in future. And that's where I would share the 3 secrets of success in the cloud kitchen business. What is very important for a lot of you to understand about, know about, and go on accordingly. The first one is about building a vision for your brand. Now, how you must be asking me that probably as a home chef, why do I need to have a vision? Now, I always believe you have to think like a brand from day one. Think like a brand for day one. Be more than larger than life. A lot of people, why I tell them what a vision is, you never make some serious money by focusing on retail profits. You make money when you either franchise, you sell the outlet on an as-is basis, or probably you basically sell equity in your business or bring in brand collaborations. Now, these are the 4 ways where you can actually monetize your business for greater money. If you start focusing on small retail profits, that's not how you build I would say a large business. Now, the second aspect is about building a brand story. Today, everything is about storytelling. Everything is about that. So you need to have a name, you need to have a quirky logo, you need to really work around your packaging, your brand story. Think about Behro's Biryani, guys. How they have actually built a story around a biryani. Come to think of it. And then the packaging, the photography, all these elements come in. And let me tell you one thing, why I say this is food is an experiential business. You have to bring restaurant quality experiences to the comfort of someone's home. That is what the opportunity is about. So, while I tell you about all these elements, I'll tell you about the second secret. Second secret is about you can't be everything to everyone. The riches is in the niches. You have to really figure out what your niche can be. And here is where I'll be sharing a framework with you, what I basically call as the ABCD model, wherein which cloud kitchen is a part of a subset of the entire food business ecosystem. But now is not the time that you say, I'm a North Indian restaurant. You have to be specific. There's an element called micro niche. You have to delve down. If you're doing North Indian cuisine, what in that? Are you doing Awadhi cuisine? You're doing Punjabi cuisine? You're doing Bihari cuisine? All these elements are subsets. And then after that, you can come down to a specific brand, and that's the beauty of cloud kitchens, that you can build a niche and a specific subset brand for each of your entities. That's the beauty of it. Like I said, few ground rules is that you need to know your strength, you should know your scale, and most importantly, that can you do this every day? That's the first and the most important thing. When we talk about passion, are you willing to do it as a commercial enterprise once you have that pressure of running a payroll? So all these aspects come in really handy. And this is where I'll be sharing the third and the most important aspect of the cloud kitchen business, which is building sales and marketing hype. Friends and family, aggregator portals, home chef platforms. You have to be visible everywhere. It's always about being visible. And this is where I derive the second line, which is Jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai. And that's where now is the age of hybrid marketing. It's not only about your brand to be known, it's also the founder. If you're a home chef trying to dabble into the space of cloud kitchens, you need to play around with a mix of your personal brand and your company brand. And that is through elements like your Facebook handles, your Instagram handles, your WhatsApp for business. You need to leverage it, you have to be all around. That's the fundamental reality of being in this business. So guys, hoping that these 3 secrets have been able to give you some clarity about this particular business. Now, a lot of you must be thinking that, don't you think that cloud kitchen in itself is a fantastic and a lucrative opportunity for you? And I'm sure a lot of you guys think the same way, and I absolutely abide by what I'm saying. However, there is a quick gap to what I share. Hold on guys, everything that glitters is not gold. And you need to understand and be realistic about the fundamental that in 42 says that single cloud kitchen owners can't survive because of aggregator commissions. If you're paying 20-30% to aggregators, how do you intend to survive? And that's where I was mentioning about the third point, about really being bullish on sales and marketing and using the power of hybrid marketing, which is personal and your company. Once you do that, there is sky's the limit for you typically. And here is where I also want to set my expectations straight, guys. That when I'm telling you, I'm not saying that it's a get rich quick scheme. Typically, cloud kitchen owners make less than 15 to 20% margin out of a typical outlet on a per unit level. So, idea is that once you have a bigger vision, you can really build this into a fantastic empire of sorts. Now, while I've shared everything with you, but I'll share this one bonus, last important secret with you, which you need to understand. What do you think is the most important asset as part of your cloud kitchen business? Come to think of it, guys. It's not your assets, fixed assets, not your employees, not the kind of food you make, but it is you. You are the most important asset of your cloud kitchen business. And that's why you keep and you need to really develop yourself. Because if you don't do that, it is of no use. It's a learning business. The times are changing on a daily basis, and there's a lot of opportunity to be leveraged. Now, how many of you guys know about this lady?
This is big too.
Anyone? If you guys know about this lady, she's Rajni Bector. She's the founder of something called Mrs. Bector's Industries Private Limited, which has filed for an IPO of 540 crores, targeting and having a revenue of over 1,000 crores, having exported to around 60 countries, and most importantly, having a staff of 4,000 people. And you know what the funny aspect is, and the interesting aspect? It all started as a home chef. Come to think of it. And that's why never ever think that a smaller business can't convert into an IPO business, because of the fact that while she has started with a minimal capital of 20,000 rupees, turning that into 1,000 crore turnover is a great achievement, and that too being on the IPO. She's actually converted the entire cycle. Now, I just lastly want to walk you through something very important. The starting point of all achievement is desire. You need to desire to actually make an impact and build your own legacy. And I leave it up to you. I know you will do it. Start now. Just do it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
A huge round of applause for Mr. Manvir Singh Anand, who took a very convention done by millions twice a day, or if you're a glutton like me, thrice a day activities, yet not much thought about, and turned it into a limitless business idea. Let's have a huge round of applause for